Brad.
Yes, Julie.
Would you like to?
Would I like to what? There's a loaded question.
Invitation.
Invitation.
Yes, it's invitation. We're going to talk about invitation today. So.
Are we?
We are.
Well, let me sit up.
This is kind of Brad's thing. But before we get into that, Brad, welcome to No BS Talk.
Where there will be no BS.
Because we, no BS.
So invitation.
Yes.
What do you want to know?
Well, as I was saying, invitation is kind of Brad's thing. He talks about it often for those of you that know him. And those of you that don't, you will get to know that it's Brad's thing. And I just really wanted to kind of discuss it because in our short relationship, we've known each other for just over a year. Brad's invitations have led us to some pretty interesting places. So, like some really interesting places. Actually, as I said that, I'm like, oh, another one. So yeah, I would love you to describe to me and to everyone out there the importance of invitation, why you do it, and why it's important.
Well, this is something that I kind of thought about, and I was asked to kind of throw something at the table or at the wall for a human resources thing. And I kind of started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, I work in hospitality, and I've always worked in hospitality, both in restaurants and as a musician. And, you know, all the time I was kind of thinking to myself, like, you know, something's happening here, but I don't know what. And it took me a long time to connect the dots because I wanted to whittle it down to one thing. And the reality is when I thought about all of it and I put it all together, I came up with one word, and that was invitation.
Speaking of whittling down, people want to be invited. They're waiting for an invitation. That's my belief. It's something that I subscribe to. And Brad just is really freaking good at it, at throwing those invitations out. Sometimes I don't know that he actually knows what he's getting himself into when he does the invites.
I don't, especially. I don't. But the reality is sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it.
Right.
It's a really tangible thing. Like, human nature kind of dictates that we're all a little bit wallflowers. Not everybody is a type A personality that's out there saying, hey, let's go do this. So the way I kind of see it is everything starts from an invitation.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have to look at things too. Like, how do you feel when you get invited to something? How do you feel when you invite somebody and they show up? And so what happens is everything becomes an invitation. Right? Like you walk into a doctor's office and there's wrapped butterscotch Werthers sitting there, and that's an invitation to take one. And that invitation makes you feel good. So now you're happy.
There's a sales tip around that.
No, but it is, but everything is an invitation. And when you break it down, what I came up with was invitation brings inclusion, and inclusion brings inspiration.
Right, and I like that you mentioned like it's invitation to take one with the Werthers, because invitation doesn't have to be this grandiose thing. And we'll get into that because we've had some grandiose things. However, invitation can be just saying hello to somebody so that they feel comfortable to say hello back.
100%.
Right, and I think we sometimes figure, well, they're not talking to me, so they probably don't want to. And the fact is that somebody's got to make the first move, and it's often me. In the smaller ways, it's often me. And then in the larger ways, I would love to actually, I'm not even sure if you know what I'm going to say next. Well, you probably don't. Seldom does. But very recently, we had a phenomenal experience because of a simple question that Brad asked me. So so I think you know what I'm talking about, right? Did you want to say your version? Because I love the he said, she said version of everything in life, right? Or the she said, she said. How you brought it up and then where we went from there.
Okay. Well, we got together on the day, the anniversary of the day we kind of met,
right?
Which was kind of cool, right? And I said to you during that conversation, I said, you know what? I've always wanted to go to New York. Like, I would love to go to New York in the spring. And then she said, December, let's go.
That was like, it was a month out. And I'm like, why would we wait till the spring? And I got my laptop out and I started like, can I press the button? Can I say yes to the tickets? So Brad was kind of a little bit shocked that he went from maybe someday I'll get to New York, the spring sounds lovely, to oh my God, we're going to New York, because that's who I am. You give me an invitation. If I'm interested, I'm in and I'm on it. So be careful who you invite to what.
Well, I mean, and really, it was just a very simple invitation. And what happened was something really amazing. We went to New York. I never thought I'd be there. It was kind of like, I remember standing in front of the Colosseum in Rome when I went there, and it was almost the same thing. It was just like, I get there, and it was gobsmacked. It was like, this is a place I've read about, I'm running around. I mean, we get to Times Square, 9 o'clock at night. I looked at Julie, I said, I'm gonna pee like a puppy. Right now, I'm gonna pee my pants.
I don't know if he did, because we were wearing ponchos.
That's right.
Ponchos in New York. Like, New York is all about style and fashion. What are we doing? We're wearing ponchos because it was raining and we didn't want to go inside because we're both puppies.
So this actually gets into a whole bunch of other topics, like, maybe it's time, if not now, when? What are you waiting for?
Absolutely.
All of those kind of things. I would love to talk a little bit about, more about what that trip meant to me, for on some levels, right? But I don't know if that's now or another conversation.
I think it might be another conversation. I think that we've given you guys something to think about. When is the next time you're going to invite somebody by maybe a simple hello, or maybe something a little bit more grandiose, like inviting them on a trip? Who knows where it'll take you, right, Brad?
That's right. And really, you're right when you say a smile is a very simple invitation.
Yeah.
Because really, invitation is just about allowing somebody to get past themselves and take part in your world, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And I've not always been an expert at that. So it feels pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much for being here, Brad.
Thank you, Julie.
Hope you guys have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. Thanks.
That fire's not real, just so you know.
It's real enough.